We definitely gonna do a speed test on here and get you some miles per hour. This is about as low as I've ever seen this pond right here. I'll let you get a look at. The water should be right here, and it's way down here. You may be able to see the angle that trailer's on right there. It's low. There's the Raider over there. So the pond being as low as it is, today's not really going to be about so much about speed as just testing how the boat reacts to the 4 horsepower Tohatsu being on the back of it, that weight there. I do have a 40 horse. No, I don't. I do have a 40 pound thrust Minn Kota trolling motor on the front that's fairly heavy. And I've got the battery up front that kind of counters the weight. But let's get out there and see how moving around on the boat and all that goes. And we definitely gonna do a speed test on here and get you some miles per hour. So another thing we can test while we're out here with the motor on the back is we can test how well this thing maneuvers, how well it turns under throttle. Like right now, this is a dead idle. Spin you right around. But now let's see how it acts with some throttle. We'll cut around by this pine tree right here that's laid over in the water, courtesy of Hurricane Helene. Probably about a quarter throttle right here. All right, now I'm headed straight for a pine tree. I'm gonna move up the throttle some more. Getting close. Gonna maneuver right up beside it. No problem. No problem. Now let's give her some more throttle. Yeah, I'll see how far that thing was flexed over right here. I had no idea it was going like that. With a 4 horsepower, you can kind of hold down, especially with an extended arm on here. You can kind of hold down on the motor and kind of mitigate against that flex, but I didn't know it was flexing like that. Watch it. So I'm definitely gonna have to do some kind of bracing right there on that thing. I've seen videos where people talk about it flexing, but I've never seen it in person like that. That's in person. That thing's, it's on over there now. But as far as the way as this thing maneuvers under throttle, I mean, you see it? I mean, it ain't tried to turn me over or nothing yet. Turn this way. Well, we can sit right here and do donuts. I don't think y'all could see what I was talking about a while ago. Just how much that transom was flexing under full throttle. I'm gonna show you. That's the only spooky thing I've seen about this yet. See how much it just popped back up? Now, to be completely honest with you, I'm not really worried about that plastic tearing or breaking or anything like that. They've been making Pelican boats for a long time, and it flexes, but I mean, that's because that's what it does. It flexes. That's like the difference between hardened steel and mild. A hardened steel may just snap and break under pressure, whereas that mild will bend. So, like I say, I'm not really concerned about it, but I will be mitigating that problem also with some kind of support system. All right, so I don't know how well this is gonna go. I'm gonna slide the seat back. Get that trolling motor tiller out the way. And my plan is to try to show you stability on this thing. Has it changed any with the weight being on the back? Y'all help me count the ways I need a paddle holder on the side of this thing. Now, that's all the weight on one side right there. Don't mind my balance, that ain't got nothing to do with the boat. That's all the weight over there. I can walk up here. I can walk on this one side right here. Of course, a normal person's just gonna be walking. Whoa, now. A normal person is just going to be walking like this right here in the middle of the boat. I mean, common sense says try to stay in the middle. I also think kind of stepping at an angle would help, because if you start to lose your balance this way or this way, it's a lot easier to mitigate that loss of balance than if you're right here and you lose your balance this way. If you're standing this way and you lose your balance this way, there's not a whole lot you can mitigate with other than sticking this arm out further and trying to get some more weight over there. If you got a little bit of an angle like this, you can make a lot of difference in what's going on. I mean, look at that. You got your knees right there, your heels right there. You can put one foot down, whatever. So, something I hadn't tried yet is standing on one side of the boat. I see a lot of people talking about it, but I have not done it. So here goes. I'm gonna try to hold on. I don't want to fall in, mess up my microphone, but man, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Standing on the side of the boat, watching bass swim by. That is all right. That's so good, I got to do it again on this side. If I can keep from tearing my rod and reels and my toes up. turn that seat around here for a little. Let's try this. There we go. Yes, sir. One side of the boat, and you can even rock it up and down. Sorry about the camera right there. I wasn't really thinking about that. That just upped my confidence in this thing by a good bit. That's pretty good right there. I like it. I like it a lot. Now what else can I test for y'all out here? I have just started a screen record. So I'll be trying to reference back to that as I do this. I've got to get to where I can see the speed myself. All right. We are idling right now 1.8 miles per hour. That's just maybe quarter throttle right there. We have picked up to 4.5 miles per hour, dropped back down to about 4.0. You can see we're kicking a little bit of water up. Kicking a little bit of water up there. That's what's going on behind us. We're cutting a turn right here at 5.7 miles per hour with no problems. The turn slowed me down to 3.9 at the lowest. Now we're gonna give it some juice. We're going against the wind. At 5.3. 6.4, 6.5, and I can't see it because it fell. All right, we're gonna try to get the top speed out of this thing between here and the other side of the pond. That may not happen, but we'll give it a go. Wide open throttle right here. 6.5, 7, 7.2, 7.4, 7.7, 7.9, 8.1. I had enough room to get 8.1 out of it. And honestly, I'm thinking that's about all you're going to get out of this right here. I really don't think that this boat and this motor with this propeller is going to get much over 8 miles per hour, even on a longer stretch. It may get up a little higher, I don't know. We're going to find out somewhere else though. But now I really want to get this thing out on the river and see. I want to see how well this thing does going against current. If it's even worth taking to the river, because I'd love to get this thing out and try to do some catfish lines and all. As stable as this thing is, from what I just saw a while ago from that standing on the sides thing, I don't feel like I'd be too afraid to get a big catfish off the line on here. And I'm gonna be flat out honest with you. I have never got a real big catfish on a limb line before. When I was younger, me and some of my buddies would go out and do some limb lines here and there. But I've never got a hold to one of those great big flatheads or anything like that. So I can't wait to try that right here. Here's one of the big tests right here. What's the dog ability of this thing? Cricket, you think you'll like riding in this one? What you doing, boy? You getting cooled off there, son? Huh? You getting good and cooled off over there, boy? I think it's gonna work just fine. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the big trolling motor up front just yet. That extension pole works good whenever you're trolling and don't have the big motor on the back, but the extension may have to come off of it for any time when you're gonna have the outboard on the back. All right, see you next time now.